everyone, and welcome back to our weekly interviews. Happy Wednesday. I am Vera Morris with Beauty Queens Galore, the pageant resource, and I am super excited about today's guest. Yes, it is Ronica Jackson, the newly crowned Miss United World 2024. I just have to say congratulations again to her. And welcome to the Miss United World International Royal Sisterhood and Family. I'm so excited to have you here, Ronica.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here too. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and dive in because there's a lot of things I want to talk to you about today.
Okay.
So, first things first, outside of that beautiful crown, tell us about Ronica. Tell us about who you are.
I am CEO and founder Ronica Marie Couture, a self-taught fashion designer. I reside in Houston, Texas. I sew from swimsuits to jumpsuits, interview outfits, evening gowns, a little bit of, and also costumes. I made your costume for one of the pageants. So I do sew a little bit of everything. And on my spare time, I love salsa dancing and I love motorcycles.
I mean, just a well rounded woman. So, tell us, how did you get involved in pageantry?
Ooh, that was when I was 12 years old. I was bullied a lot. When I was growing up, I was in a predominantly Hispanic community. So being biracial, I was always picked on and stuff. So um, I was told I looked like a troll because of my hair and all this stuff. And my mom had received a letter about a pageant. And she's like, "Do you want to do a beauty pageant?" And I'm like, if I win, I could go to school with my crown and my trophy, and I could say, like, I won a beauty pageant. I'm not ugly, like you said. But when I did my first pageant, I was hooked. I love being on the stage. I love dressing up, and I saw myself differently, and I felt the confidence, in myself, and I loved it. And ever since then, I've been part of pageantry.
You got the bug, as we all like to say.
Yeah, yeah.
Once you're in, there's no turning back.
Yes.
So, tell us a little bit about your platform because I know you have incorporated your passion and love for design and has literally made it into your life's purpose. So, tell us a little bit more about that.
So my platform is empowering women through fashion. It actually started when I was homeless. It was a very difficult and dark time in my life. This was in 2012. Previously to that, in June 2011, my stepfather had passed away from cancer. And then in 2012, in the beginning of the year, I was homeless and I was jumping from place to place, what they call couch surfing. And I was in a negative mindset. So I would sketch a lot to kind of get out of that mindset. And a lot of the times I was sketching fashion. And I told myself, let me get myself a sketchbook. And I started sketching even more. And I was like, by the time I knew it, I had like a whole collection, and it was like pageantry and fashion. And I was like, I need to be a fashion designer. And I bought myself a small little sewing machine from Walmart, those $60, $70 sewing machines. And I started learning by myself. And that's when I started creating Ronica Marie Couture. Now I use my passion to inspire others. I'm like, you know what? I went through a negative time. Fashion was my light in a dark time of my life. You have something within you, like anything that you're struggling with now, or if you have a past that is holding you back from reaching your goals, or reaching your best, don't let that define who you are. Like, find that spark within you and reach your goals. So I just use my passion and my story to inspire others. It might not be the same story, but everyone has a difficult journey that they have, and there's something that could help them find that spark to overcome that challenge.
Absolutely. And I really got to see that on different levels. First,
Yeah.
like you said, you designed such an amazing costume and swimsuit evening gown for me because you helped me take my platform and passion, I know, with breast cancer and turn it into this. I was literally like Wonder Woman, this breast cancer warrior, as I call myself.
Yeah.
And you were able to do that. And you also were able to do it at New York Fashion Week when
Mhm.
a number of us got to walk in your designs, and I'll tell you, it was very empowering because, like you said, we all had a story. We were all living out a dream, thanks to you. And it was so empowering, and everybody looked good, felt good. And you're right. And, it's just sometimes you can put on a dress or put on a jumpsuit, and it literally can just change your attitude and just make you even more positive than you may be feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you were able to do that.
Thank you. Thank you.
So let me ask you this. Beauty Queens Galore is a huge pageant resource, for contestants and title holders and directors and vendors, all sorts of people. So tell us, what do you think that we can do more of or bring more of recognition in terms of the pageant community?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think I would like, because I do see that you guys post pictures of contestants, especially during their time of pageant weekend. And I love watching that. Like right now, I'm watching all the posts of the girls at Teen USA and Miss USA, and I love it. But I think I would like to see more queens in action, like out in the community, because like society just sees the stage, us in parades or in gowns and photo shoots, but we're a lot more than that. There's so much that goes behind the scenes. And I love it when people see like the authentic us. Like, this is who we are. This is what we do in the community. Like, when I'm telling people about myself, like, oh, you do that? Oh, you've done that too? Like, they get shocked. And so I think I would like to see a little bit more like behind the scenes of what queens go through, our journeys, our platforms, and being out in the community.
I agree, because we really do. I always say the percentage of glitz and glam is very small
Yeah.
compared to all that hard work that we do. And you're right, we people just see a quick snapshot, but they don't realize all the hard work that we do. So I agree with you. I think that would be wonderful. So I want you to finish this sentence for me.
Okay.
I want to be remembered for.
I want to be remembered as because of Ronica, I didn't give up. Like that. That was actually a long time ago when I was first starting in pageantry. I had a pageant coach, and she asked me that question while we were practicing, and I literally stood there, like, just in shock, like, that really sunk. Because it wasn't just a pageant question. I really let it marinate in my head, like, what do I really want people to remember me as? Because there's going to be a day that I'm no longer going to be here, and I am just going to be a quick memory, and I want to leave a print on this earth. So I want to be the person that inspired others, and that's why I do everything that I do. And actually, it really opened my eyes, and it really, I'm getting chills because I did get those words. Ronica, it's because of you that I'm here today. Ronica, it's because of you that you inspired me to keep pushing with my business. And it felt so good to hear those words because I'm getting emotional. Sorry, but it was Dominic Joy, and it was so beautiful that I inspired somebody and I didn't even know. And so that's what I want to continue doing, inspiring others not to give up, give them hope. Like, doesn't matter what situation you're in, there's always the light at the end of the tunnel.
Absolutely. And what's funny about that inspiration is you inspire so many people that you don't even realize, and that's the beauty of being in the role that you're in, the many hats and crowns that you wear. That's the beauty of it all, is that is who you are. You just never give up, which is amazing. So let me ask you this question. I kind of think I might know the answer to this one just a little bit, but tell us why young women should be a part of the United World System.
Oh my goodness, there's so many reasons. One, the sisterhood is amazing. And I know every pageant girl and every system says that, but this system is truly about unity and coming together. I mean, you and I have partnered up together with different projects, and especially one that's coming up. I partnered up with Mrs. Southern States for another project that we're working on for December. Also, I love Ms. Kansas. She's a great friend of mine, Katie. You know Katie. But one time we were speaking to each other, and we're like, "Oh, I'm competing, me too." And I love like the encouragement that we had for each other because we told each other, even though it's a competition, we're not competing against each other. We're competing with each other. And we always exchange words like, hey sis, you got this. Like, hey, do you need anything? Hey, I see you're kind of struggling right now. Do you need anything? Are you okay? So that's the sisterhood that United World has. It's very strong. It's very encouraging. I love our retreat. Nobody sees like the end part of it, but that's the part that is so moving and so authentic. And that's what sets us apart.
It definitely does. And if you wear them last year's, you're gonna lose them at that night retreats because I was in tears. I mean, we were just literally pouring our hearts out. And you're right. It's all about that sisterhood, and we do have a wonderful time. We have lots of fun too. Like we know how
Oh,
to cut up and have fun.
yes. Yes. I loved it.
So, as someone who is an entrepreneur, as a woman that's an entrepreneur on top of that, we know how difficult that it can be. So, for anybody that's listening right now, what advice would you give them for any young woman right now who is potentially trying to start her own business?
There's going to be a lot of times you're going to fail. Going to be a lot of times you're going to make mistakes. And there's going to be times that you're going to feel like you're not good enough or that you're probably not cut out for this. And you are making mistakes, making errors, or failing. It's actually part of the process. So don't give up. Just if you have to step away for a little bit, step away, regroup, and get back to it and see, okay, what did I learn from that struggle, that obstacle, and how could I be better? Always be open minded, and accountability and integrity is really important. So growth, that's part of it. Struggle is definitely part of it. So don't ever give up.
You heard it. Don't ever give up on your dreams. That is so true. So, this is a perfect question for you because you are a designer and you design for a lot of women in pageantry, like we've talked about. So, my question for you is when someone approaches you about designing something for them, as we know in the pageant industry, a lot of times it can be cookie cutter. So, sometimes women don't necessarily go for what their style is. They're trying to conform to what that pageant system may potentially be looking for. So tell me a little bit about how your consultation goes with a client and how you help them make the right decision for their wardrobe.
Well, there's a lot of girls that they know what they kind of want. And or they'll have like several pictures, like I like this, I like that, I don't like this, but I ask a lot of questions. I'm like, okay, and this sounds so funny, but I do if I have a client, like for example, you, and I remember I told you this and you started cracking up. But I like stalk my clients. Like once we have a consultation scheduled, and I'm looking at like their social media, but I'm looking at their figure, what looks good on them, what colors look great with their complexion, their hairstyle, their facial features, or everything. I'm paying attention to those small details because that will help me create something that works for them. Because what works for them might not work for somebody else. So I don't like it to be cookie cutter. There's sometimes that I like this or I like feathers. Okay, let's do something with feathers. And I kind of get like what they like and what they don't like and try to create something from there.
And you're patient.
Okay.
Because I mean it happens where you can decide on something. It's like you have a dream and it's like, oh, wait a minute. I think I want that color. And you're so kind and so patient, but you're very honest too. You're able to have those open conversations with your clients, because at the end of the day you want them to be happy, but
Right,
you also want them to know what's going to work, because ultimately
right.
when you're on that stage, that's it, and you want to feel your very best. So I appreciate the fact that you're so open and honest,
Hmm.
um, with how you talk to each of us as clients. So I love that about you.
Thank you.
Oh, somebody joined us and had a nice compliment for you.
Oh, thanks, Carrie.
So my next question for you is, as Ms. title holders, do you feel as though we have a certain responsibility in terms of pageantry?
I think we have the responsibility of representing, meaning there's so many times that I have spoken to women like our age, and they're like, "Oh, I could never do that," or "I want to do that, but I don't think I can," or "I don't think I'm good enough." So you are, and that's why we're here representing like every woman that's within our age that are not married or a single mother, and that hey, don't forget about you, especially if you're a single mom or you're taking care of others like your parents. Like, you also want to shine. If you have a goal to be in a pageant or have a platform, go for it. You have dreams and goals, and make time for you. So I think that's important. So I feel like representation for all women of our age to like never give up on our dreams.
Absolutely not. So, do you think there's a right time to start in pageantry?
Mm, that's a good one. Um, I think when the person is ready. It's always on their terms. If they don't feel ready and they don't feel confident, then I don't recommend it, because confidence is key. Because that was my biggest challenge going into this year's United World. The last time that I competed, my confidence was, ooh, it was low. My self-esteem was low. And I saw it and I felt it in my interview, because my voice was shaking. I'm like, what's wrong with me? I know I could speak well, but I was just not confident with myself. And I told myself, like, no, I have the qualities. I could be the next Miss United World. I'm going to be the next Miss United World. I kept like feeding myself and speaking it out in the universe. And I built my confidence, and I know I was like a little bit heavier than what I've normally competed in the past, and that was also bringing down my confidence. But you have to believe in yourself. Like, how can you convince the judges that you're the next Miss United World or the next reign if you don't believe in yourself? So I think that's really important, and that was something that I struggled with, and I tried my best to like overcome it. And I was like, no, I'm gonna go in this strong and loving myself and believing in myself. So definitely when the person is ready and they believe in themselves and they're confident.
You have to manifest it. We
Yeah.
talked about that. You have to
Yeah.
manifest it and truly, truly do believe it. You literally manifested it, even almost down to passing out. I was like, oh my God. I was standing behind you and I was like, breathe, breathe, breathe. I
Yes.
was like, I don't think we meant manifesting that part, but
Yes.
but it was a wonderful moment. And in that very moment, all of your hard work just literally paid off. It was wonderful to be able to see that and witness that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you like told that was the last thing he told me. He's like, I want you to put posties on your mirror. I'm the next Miss United World. I want you to speak it out. And yeah, that manifesting is very important.
It is. Like I still have those sticky notes and post-it notes on my mirror for different goals. I feel like it's important, like we've talked about, because some days you wake up and you're not feeling it. And it's
Mhm.
okay. You just need those small reminders that we can achieve anything that we want.
Right.
So here's my next question to you, because you kind of touched on it a little bit about self-esteem. And we know how big social media is right now. It's pretty much a big networking platform for us to really put our messages out there like we've talked about. So what advice would you give these young girls, because a lot of them, they suffer from low self-esteem and a lot of it is based around social media. So what advice would you give them in terms of their character and self-esteem based around social media?
One thing is, don't compare. I feel that everybody's always posting like their accomplishments, or, hey, I'm doing this, I got this, I won this. And you're comparing. And then that brings down your self esteem, like, oh, well, I don't have that. I didn't win this. I didn't get that. I haven't got a job promotion. And then you start feeling you're not good enough. So definitely don't compare, because everybody's journey is different. All because it's one person's winning moment doesn't mean you're not going to have your winning moment. Just clap for the other person, because one day it's going to be your moment and they're going to be clapping for you. The next thing is just work on yourself. I feel like that is a little bit harsh saying that, but it's the truth, because that's what I told myself. Okay, Ronica, you don't like your weight, you don't like your size, work on it. And I did. I was working twice a day, like Monday through Saturday, recover Sunday, and I did it all over again. And I hired my trainer to help me to lose weight the healthy way. And then I had my coaches that were helping me, not just only on my interview or modeling, but also with like my mental health, making sure that I was getting that confidence and speaking positive words to myself. So definitely working on yourself is really important. Have those hard talks with yourself. What do I need to do or change to get here, to reach this goal? And start making those small steps. It's going to be a struggle, but just as long as you keep one step, another, and another, you're going to eventually reach that goal.
I agree with you, and I love the fact that you pretty much listed those people that were close to you to that kept you positive and was in your corner. I always call those people my sanity circle.
Yes.
Those people that you can count on. And I think that's important too, because a lot of times a lot of people think it's about the number of people that they have around them, when the truth of the matter is it's the quality, not the quantity. So I believe that is great advice. And you also touched on mental health, which we know September is Suicide Awareness Month, and mental health to me is just such a big topic, and it's so important that we talk about it. So tell us, what do you do to promote positive mental health for yourself and be able to balance everything that you have on your plate?
Ooh, that's hard. I still struggle. There's sometimes I'll have my down moments and I feel like I'm not good enough, or just a lot of negative thoughts. Music helps. Sometimes I put Christian music, depending of what type of negative mentality that I have. Sometimes, like if I'm not feeling confident in myself or I don't feel pretty, um, that song, my friends and I have a little saying with it, but that song that I look good, I look fly. So sometimes I put that song on and I'm like, yes, and I'm in the mirror like, yes. Okay, I look good. But on a serious note, I try to give myself compliments, and that took a long time to work on because it felt funny at first. I'm like, I don't. Do I even look? Do I have anything that's good? But I started like, you know what? I like my hair when it's curly, or I look good in this color, or just small things, and I would say it out loud. And there's sometimes my mom's like, "Are you talking to yourself?" I'm like, "Yes, ma'am, I am." I'm gonna talk with myself, but I just speak out loud because when you hear your own voice, it wakes up something in you. That's something that I learned from another advisor, and I took that advice and I'm like, okay. And so I just started speaking positive words to myself.
And it really does help. Those positive affirmations go such a long way. I always say, don't wait for somebody else to give you a compliment. Compliment yourself. Like I said, we've had these conversations before, and
Yeah.
it's so very true. And it does promote, positive, good mental health, which is so important right now. So let me ask you this, because you've been in pageantry for quite a while now. So if you think about it and look back on it, what type of advice do you think you wish you would have had when you started?
Um, Honestly, I probably wouldn't want any advice just because I learned every time I lost, I always sat back and evaluated myself. And this sounds funny, but it helped me. Sometimes it might not help somebody else, like that, these words, but I would tell myself, okay, what does the winner have that I don't have? Okay, she's always out in the community. Okay, she's working on her career, her goals, and she's going to get her master's. Okay, what am I doing? Okay, I'm going to school, but I need to push myself more. I'm not doing community service. Let me do community service. And, so I evaluated myself and, I'm not great at interview. Let me get a pageant coach. Like she has a pageant coach. I never had pageant coaches. So every time I lost, I evaluated myself and I worked on myself. So I saw myself grow. And after every loss, and I lost a lot more pageants versus on what I won. So, but I grown from that. So actually, I wouldn't even want the advice because those were lessons to help me get better.
So if there's a young woman listening who is thinking about doing a pageant for the first time, just do it, and just learn as you go. I think that's wonderful advice, because in there they won't have anybody to compare themselves to, because when you listen to other people a lot, that's when you start comparing yourself to other people. So I think that's great advice, is just go for it, and sink and swim is what I always say. And that was me, my first pageant. I was like, I'll just figure it out. And then, as you say, the more you compete, the more you learn about yourself. Oh, there she is. The more
Okay. I was like, but it's raining and storming. So I hope I don't lose connection. So,
It's okay. You're doing great. You're doing great. So my next question for you is, we're talking about advice. So what do you think has been your greatest advice that you've received thus far?
um, That would be from my financial advisor from many years ago. He told me, Ronica, be comfortable being uncomfortable. And at first I was like, what? But after I let it marinate in my mind a little bit, I was like, okay. And so I took that advice. Like, for example, when I started Ronica Mercator and I would go to a few events, or there were sometimes I didn't want to go to like networking events because I'm just so awkward, especially when it comes to highs and buys. I'm awkward. I have to be really comfortable with someone, like to be like, hey girl, but I can be a little bit awkward with highs and buys or meeting new people. I get nervous with it. And there's sometimes I start stuttering and stuff. So I would push myself to go to networking events. That way I could promote myself. And the more that I pushed myself, like out of my comfort zone, the better it was for me. And I got more comfortable. So I'm like, okay, I get what he's saying now. So that advice is something that I still have in my mind. Like, you know what? I don't like doing this, but I know this is going to benefit me. So I'm just going to little by little push myself.
That's right. Like I said, you grow every day and you learn something new about yourself every single day. And now, as a designer, because I think this is really cool that you're a designer, but of everything that you've designed, is there a particular piece that you have really loved design more so than anything else?
That would be your silver gown. And I've been asked that a few times, and I'm like, Vera's gown. Your silver gown is still my favorite. Um, that one, I love that I enjoyed working on it too. And the reason why is because you allowed me to design. You're like, I trust you. Go for it. And I remember that we had like, oh, I sketched a design for you, and you're like, yes, that's perfect. I want that. That's my vision. I could see myself in it. But then at the last minute, I was like, Vera, do you trust me? And you're like, what? I still remember your face. But I love that you trusted me, and I love that you just allowed me to design and allowed me to work, because there's sometimes if I am stressed out as a designer and I'm sewing, like I feel it's like cooking. When they say you're cooking, don't cook when you're hungry, or don't cook when you're stressed out, because that's how your food comes out. That's the way I am with sewing. If I'm stressed out, I do tend to like make mistakes, but when I'm enjoying it, it just comes out so much better. And with your gown, I enjoyed working on it, and you're just like, I trust you. And so I was like, I have this vision, I know this would come out great, and it did.
That's
So
my Oscar gown. I still call it my Oscar gown because we were going for not necessarily pageant look, but the red carpet, and it was like those little touches that you changed at the end when you like, all right, Vera, and I was like, those little
yeah,
touches is what did it. I just walked out there, like I'm on the red carpet versus a pageant stage. So that
yeah.
was amazing, and I appreciate you doing that because it was like one of my favorites for sure. Now, speaking of designing your own wardrobe, so what is it like designing your own wardrobe?
To be honest, it's stressful. Because when it comes to somebody else, I could look at somebody and be like, no, this style will look better on you, or these colors. And, I could direct them a lot better. But when it comes to myself, I could be very indecisive. And then also, since I was in a weight loss journey, it was really hard for me to see what style would look good on me, because if I'm still curvy, one idea that I have, oh sorry, my sash fell. But one idea that I have, like a design or a style, it might not look good on me if I'm a little bit curvier, but if I was skinnier, it might look better on me. So it was really hard to have like my designs come to life. Like, I actually changed my swimsuit. I have both of them with me, but I changed my swimsuit kind of like 3 days before 3 or 4 days before I left to the pageant. I was like, no, I don't like this style. So I changed it up because I was still a little bit heavier. So yeah, and I had two gowns, and then I ended up, one of my friends was like, why don't you borrow my gown? So I ended up borrowing her gown, and it looked fabulous on me. Now, yeah, I was just very indecisive, and then with the weight loss and everything, so I'm harder on myself versus like when I'm with the client, it's like, oh, you could do this, 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 this. This is gonna look fabulous on you. So it's hard.
Well, it was great. I loved your swimsuit. It was beautiful. It's perfect color too.
Thank you. Yeah.
love that color. It was beautiful. So let me ask you this as well. Um, I know you just won, and it's like it's still that I won. It's still that moment. But tell me, is there something in particular that you're looking forward to the most this year?
My biggest service project, I haven't announced it yet. It's going to be my Design to Empower fashion show, which is going to be in February and it's going to be in New York Fashion Week. So I'm really excited because it's a benefit fashion show. So I have showcased in New York Fashion Week, but this time I'm partnering up with other designers to make it a big show. And the ticket sales will go to a nonprofit organization. So I'm really excited because this is something that's bigger from my last few shows.
Now that's very exciting. I'm like, I just got the exclusive on this, so
Yeah,
I heard it first. So,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
that's exciting. I love that. Like I said, I love the fact that you design, but you have a way of doing it with a for a cause. I love when I see fashion for a cause, and you're able to be able to do that. And now with even a bigger platform, as a reigning international title holder. So I think that's absolutely amazing, Ronica.
Thank you so much.
So we're getting ready to play a game.
Okay.
I always tell my guests you get one where you can do both because the game is called this or that. So you pick
Okay.
one or the other, but I'm lenient and will let you have one that could possibly be both.
Okay.
Okay? East Coast or West Coast?
East Coast.
Okay. Miss Houston likes East Coast. Okay.
Like California. No, East. Yeah.
East Coast. Okay. Oh, this is great. A dress with a slit or without?
With the slit.
Yeah, gotta have a slit.
Yeah.
Sleeves or no sleeves for the evening gown?
No sleeves.
Okay. Ball gown or mermaid?
Mermaid.
Ooh, dress or jumpsuit?
Jumpsuit.
I like the jumpsuit too. Forget the bathroom stuff. I still like the jumpsuit. It's still cute. Love the jumpsuit. On-stage question or interview?
Hmm. Ah. Interview.
Definitely interview. Okay.
Hmm.
Long or short nails?
Short.
Yeah. Swimsuit or evening gown?
Evening gown.
I already knew that one. Sneakers or stilettos?
Sneakers.
Yes, because your feet will hurt. Early bird or night owl?
Ooh.
I started laughing because this could be one of those.
Yes. You know what? Lately, I've been an early bird. I've been waking up at 3 in the morning. So early morning. Yes, early bird.
You a real early bird. Okay, so do you prefer curly or straight hair?
Ooh, that's. I think that's the one. I'll say both.
I'll let you have both on that one.
Hmm.
Looks good either way. Looks good on you either way.
Thank you.
Practice or wing it? Ooh,
Practice.
okay, okay. Nude or red lipstick?
I usually wear nude.
Okay, me too. This is the one I always laugh. Butt glue or double-sided tape?
Butt glue.
Gotta have the butt glue.
Yes.
I mean, I'm just saying. Natural glam or full glam?
I love the full glam.
Yeah. Ooh, jeans or leggings?
Legging.
Okay. Oh, this is always a good one. Sash or crown?
um, man, that is a good one.
That's a good one. As you sit here with this beautiful crown and sash on, I'm asking you to choose between them.
The sash.
Okay. All right. You did good with that one. Do you prefer having your hair up or down?
Oh, it's always up.
Yes, I agree with that. Do you prefer being overdressed or underdressed?
Overdressed.
Oh yeah, we pageant girls. We gotta be dramatic. Do you like a jacket or a hoodie?
Jacket.
Okay. You did a great job. See, and you had the one. where it could be both, but you did such a great job. I appreciate you playing this game with me.
Thank you.
So, Ronica, we really do appreciate you taking the time and giving us a little bit of insight of who you are. But before you go, please let us know how we can stay in touch. You gave us a little tidbit about your service project, but just let us know anything that you're working on and how we can stay in touch and find you.
On social media, you could find me at my personal is Ronica.Jackson on Instagram or Ronica Marie Jackson on Facebook. I have the Miss United World Instagram and also Miss United World on Facebook as well. And if you want to find my business page, Ronica Marie Couture.
Wonderful. I see Margaret left you a nice little compliment there.
Oh, thank you, Margaret.
Well, again, I just want to say congratulations to you again. This has been so exciting for me because I'm like, oh my God, I get to talk to my successor, the one I crowned, one I know, my friend. And you're doing such a great job. I'm super, super excited for you and the journey that you had even leading up to winning the title. And I just cannot wait to see all the amazing opportunities and things that are going to come for you. I'll be cheering for you on the sideline. And you know, I'm always here for you as your sister and friend.
Thank you so much, Vera. I greatly appreciate like all the support and the love that you have.
Absolutely, girl. So I appreciate you today, Ronica. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you all again. I am Vera with Beauty Queens Galore, the pageant resource. Thank you so much for joining us. Please be sure to follow Ronica and her amazing journey in all things United World Systems. I hope you all have a great night. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your week. Bye-bye.